All right, welcome into a special episode of Better in Green. We have the Masters tournament starting tomorrow. We're going to get this video out pretty quick. We are recording on Wednesday afternoon. Ethan, happy to have you here. We usually don't talk about golf much, but this is the first major of the year, and in my opinion, it's the best major. One of the best sporting events in all of sports. In my opinion, the best sporting event in golf. Super excited to talk about it. Big field, great field today or this weekend. We do have the odds for the winners that was screenshotted on the screen here about 4 p.m. on Wednesday. So these odds are kind of changing. But that's a screenshot there. Ethan, how do you feel about the upcoming tournament? We will talk about a couple bets out there. I know I do have some outrights. I do have some placement bets as well. I know you probably get into a little bit of the matchups a little bit. But how are you feeling heading into opening day tomorrow?
Yeah, yeah, kind of weird talking about golf. It's a little bit out of our wheelhouse. But every year you got to bet the Masters. I mean, if you're a gambler and you don't bet the Masters, are you really a gambler? Not to mention Better in Green, the green jacket. It just goes so well. We do ourselves a disservice not talking about it. But yeah, looking forward to it. I try to follow golf on a weekly basis. I'm not betting it every single week. I'm not watching every single week, but I try to follow along with who's winning, who's playing well. Um, I've had success in the past betting the Masters. I did have Scotty when he won it 2 years ago. Don't quite remember his odds, 12-1 maybe. I had him at. Can't quite remember, but will history repeat itself? We will see. He's quite a bit shorter odds this week than he was 2 years ago. But yeah, looking forward to getting into some of these bets. Looking forward to hearing who you're liking this weekend, and hopefully we can make some money.
Yeah, that's the main goal is to make a little bit of money here. So before we get into our outrights, because I do have a couple outrights that I've already placed, I'm going to go into a couple placement bets that I like. Actually, before that, I'm going to give a quick little rundown of the course. I'm sure you guys are pretty aware of Augusta National, but basically the greens are faster than concrete. Extremely fast greens. It is pretty open for the drive, so if you're not super accurate with the drive, you don't really get penalized that much. However, the biggest and most important thing in this golf course is your approach shot, your second shot, that third shot on the par fives. That's kind of where the money's made in Augusta. From everything I've read, from everything I've watched, obviously the past 20 or so years of my life, it's an approach shot style golf course. You don't get penalized on the tee box. But very difficult greens. So kind of use that if you want to look at a couple stats. Look at your approach, shots gained on the green, greens and regulation, that kind of thing. Those are important stats. But big field, like I said, a lot of big names, a lot of past winners on here as well. I'm going to get into a couple top 20s that I do like. I usually don't love betting matchups. I might bet matchups a little bit come tomorrow, but do have a couple top 20 bets, and I'll give you my I guess my best value one is Patrick Reed to get in the top 20. He's sitting at plus 190. Obviously, not a huge fan of Patty Reed. He's probably the most hated golfer out there, but he does play Augusta pretty well. And at plus 190, yeah, I can't say no to that. He won it, I believe, in 2019, I believe that was the year. He was in top five not that long ago. He plays, of course, really well. So I like him quite a bit at the plus 190. Another one that I really like is Wyndham Clark. I like him at the plus or top 20 at plus 125. I believe this is his first tournament at Augusta. So I know a lot of people are kind of taking him as their dark horse to win it all. It's just, I don't think a rookie or someone making their debut at Augusta, I don't think they've ever won it. So odds are not in your favor if you're going to take him outright, but I do like him quite a bit at the top 20, especially at plus money at plus 125 there. Like Clark quite a bit on that one. I'm going to send it over to you if you want to talk a little bit before. I have a couple more placement ones, but I don't want to keep rambling on here.
Yeah, I'll go with a few top 20 bets. Top 20 is my favorite way to bet golf. I've had some success in the past. Again, not the biggest, definitely not a golf handicapper. Um, you know, not betting every tournament by any means, but I feel like the best success I've had is betting those top 20s. So two guys I'm looking at. And also before I get into it, be sure to shop around where you're getting the top 20s. You got to make sure you're not having the dead heat rules where 10 guys tie for 20th, you're getting 1/10 of that payout. I know DraftKings has a ties included option as opposed to the outright. The odds are a little bit shorter, um, like barely 10, 20 cents shorter. So be sure to be betting those ties included rather than the just the outright top 20. But first guy I'm looking at is, well, I'll go with my longer shot. This one I'm not as confident in. It's one I tend to bet every single year. I'm looking at Corey Connors, top 20. He is plus 170 in that ties included category. Missed the cut last year at the Masters, but the 3 years previously, tied for 10th, tied for 8th, tied for 6th. 10th was in 2020, 8th, 2021, 6th, 2022. So got better every single year, placed top 10, all three. Like I said, he did miss the cut last year, but at a plus 170 on a guy who's finished top 10, three of the last four Masters, seems to always play well here outside of last year. It's a guy I always look to bet on in the top 20, plus 170 with the ties included. I think it's a great value pick there. And then the other guy I'm looking at, another kind of staple in my Masters betting, Shane Lowry, top 20 plus 130. Just had his last finishes pulled up and it disappeared from me. Let me see if I can go back and find that. Okay, let me see. It
Yeah, while you
is.
look, sorry,
Oh, yeah.
when you look for that for a second, I did have the dead heat in mind. So the adjusted one, Patty Reed is plus 160, including the ties, and Wyndham Clark is plus 100. I forgot about the dead heat. That's a great thing you brought up there. Make sure you read the fine lines there. I've had buddies that have lost a lot of money on the dead heat rule. So make sure for positioning, you do take those ties included.
Yeah, I got Lowry's positions pulled back up. So he has made the cut each of the last 4 years, and his finishes were tied for 25th, tied for 21st, tied for third, tied for 16th. So last 2 years he was top 20. Obviously, the 2 years before he would have lost, but 21st, 25th, he's hanging right around. Um, just another guy that I like. I'll get into some stats a little bit later on both Lowry and Connors, and more reasons why I like them. But two staples for me betting. I think every Masters for the past 3 years now, I've bet Lowry and Connors both top 20. Gonna keep riding it out. And then
Yeah,
I guess I
I
have
like.
one more.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I forgot. I do have one more. It's my last one, so I'll just give it out. I don't have his past finishes. I can pull it up quick, but Sahith Tagala, I believe, is his name. This one's more of a gut play, plus 120 on him with the dead heat. Uh, I've heard some rumblings, read some things when I was doing some research that um, people are somewhat high on him, and I'm going to ride it. I think plus 120 is yeah, pretty nice price with that dead heat there. Yeah, more of a gut play than anything on that one, but probably want to have a unit on.
Yeah, I actually have Thigala as well. There's three, in my opinion, from everything I've looked at, three pretty talked about underdog guys to win it. That is Thigala, Auberg, whatever is, I don't know what nationality is, Auberg, and then Joaquin Neiman or whatever his name is. Those are three very talked about underdogs to win outright. I don't like them to win outright just because I think they're a little too public, but I do like them on the placement. So I do have Thigala at the top 20, like you said, plus 120. And I do have Auberg top 20, and that's minus 115. So two of the more well-known sleepers and underdogs that people are betting on. I did take them placement as opposed to outrights. I stayed away from Joaquin Neiman. He's like the sixth or seventh highest odds to actually I have him here. He's looks like he's the ninth highest odds to win it. I don't really buy him much. I know people are talking him up a lot. I'm just not super sold. So I'm staying away from him on the placement and on the outright finishes. But I do like those two other guys I talked about, Thigala and Auberg on the top 20. Then I do have one top 10. Not sure if I'll place it. It's kind of one of those bets that it feels just like a lean. I don't want to get too square placing it, but I mean, Brooks Koepka at the top 10 at plus 170 is very, very tempting to take. He obviously was leading the Masters most last year. I think the first 3.5 rounds he was leading fell apart at the end, where John Rahm ultimately won. Yeah, Kepka just plays Augusta well, and he doesn't have a win there. I do think he's one of the better live golfers. I think he's going to compete. And again, that's the one I don't know if I'm going to get there because it's probably a very public play taking Brooks to top 10, especially at a plus 170 odds. But it's also hard for me to argue not taking that. So I don't know what I'm going to do with Brooks, but I do like that as definitely a lean.
Yeah, I don't have any top 10s. I was looking at some top 30s. I didn't write anything down. But yeah, top 20 is usually my wheelhouse. And one quick thing, just going back to Thagala. Last year was his first Masters. Did not realize that, but he finished ninth. So good history in his single time out there. Um, One thing I'll quick get into, a lot of the um, stats that I hear. Well, I have a podcast that I watch that talks about all sports and betting sports, and they have their own um, golf show, and they always talk about the shots gained tee to green. Um, Pull up a graphic of the top 10 at that time before the tournament, and it's like over 50% that the winner of the tournament has come from the top 10 graphic of shots gained tee to green. Scotty Scheffler, obviously, number one in that category. I'll just quickly rifle through the top 10. It's Scheffler, Schauffele, Matsuyama, Siwoo Kim, Shane Lowry, Finau, Chris Kirk, Keith Mitchell, Ashke Bhatia, and Lucas Glover. Um, so that's kind of another reason. Also, Corey Connors is 11th, so he's right outside. But kind of just another reason why I'm looking at Lowry and Connors. Like I said, Lowry 5th, Connors 11th. You already brought up the approach to the green. Um, Scotty first, Shane Lowry third, Corey Connors fourth. All guys top four. All guys I really like in this tournament. And last thing I'll say, I heard in that podcast I was watching, so don't give me credit for any of this, but um, 14 of the last 16 winners at the Masters were outside the top 50 in strokes gained putting. So just goes to show it's not a putting course. I'm not gonna say putting doesn't matter, but you don't have to be some spectacular putter, or being a spectacular putter has not resulted in wins in the Masters.
Yeah, like I said, the Augusta greens are kind of unlike anything else in the PGA or in golf in general. So you do see some really good putters struggle, and then you see some guys like Scotty who are not really known for their putters, but end up having a decent putting performance. Yeah, I just think it's a little bit of an outlier just because the greens are concrete. It's nuts. So yeah, that's great that you brought that up because I know a lot of people. I posted a video today of I'm taking Scotty. We'll get into our outrights in a second, but people are saying, his putting has been his downfall. His putting has actually been way better this year. And also putting, like you said, it's not one of those determining factors in Augusta. Again, it definitely helps if you can sink the ball in the hole in or one to two putts, but I'm seeing like the approach shot. You talk about strokes gained on approach, strokes gained from tee to green. Those are more the determining factors that I'm looking at. So I'm glad you brought that up. I did find before we get into the outright, do you have any matchups that you want to talk about?
I don't. I went back and looked right before we hopped on, and they've kind of gotten phased out. Um, One of them was Scotty over. I can't even remember now. Rory, maybe. Um, yeah, I'm not going to be placing any matchups. They were like the two I was looking at are now like minus 165 and minus 180, so just not worth it.
Yeah, I didn't look at any of those either, so I'm glad we're staying away from that. One more stat that I saw on Twitter today in regards to the Masters: 12 out of the last 12 winners, so that's dating back to 2012, have gained at least 18 strokes tee to green in their last four starts leading up to the Masters. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 guys that fit that mold in this year's contest. You got Scotty, Matsuyama, Schauffele, Lowry, Connors, Siwoo Kim, Rory, Cam Young, and Aberg. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that guy's name wrong. So just kind of another little thing. I know I got a little caught up on those March Madness stats that are kind of similar to that. But I mean, UConn won; they fit the mold, right? So just another little stat to think about. Again, 12 out of the last 12 winners have gained at least 18 strokes tee to green in their last 4 starts leading up to Augusta. So keep that one in mind. Without further ado, I have 5 outrights. I don't think I'm going to be placing any more, unless, like you said, MGM has a free bet that I'm trying to stumble upon. But I've locked in my 5 outrights. I'm going to send it to you first. Um, give me your best outright, your most confident outright. That's not Scott. Are you on Scotty?
Okay, well, here's the thing. And I just heard about this as I was leaving work, and it threw a wrench into everything. And I'm unsure if you've heard.
His pregnant wife.
Alleged, yes.
It's like due dates like the 29th, I think.
Okay, so it's
So it would
unlikely.
have to be 2.5 weeks premature. It could, I mean, I was a month premature, but like it can
Yeah,
happen. I heard that as well. So is there's another
Sam
dude,
Byrne,
Sam Burns.
which I was also looking at for like a top 30. Stay away from him now. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So when I hit Scotty to win, I sprinkled so many outrights, and then kind of just regretted it when Scotty was at the top. I think he might have gone wire to wire in that tournament, or pretty damn close. And I lost just a lot of units doing that way. So I honestly think I'm just gonna load up on Scotty, a couple units, and ride him. The only other one, which I know I think you're high on, would be Xander. But I haven't decided. I might throw a free bet. I have a ton of free bets right now, so might get there with a free bet on him. Um, but yeah, some of the guys at the top, I'm looking to fade. I actually have 2 guys to miss the cut that I will get into. If you want me to give them right now, I can, or
Yeah, go
after
ahead.
your outright. Um, I'm just gonna say it, Tiger. I think I'm gonna bet him to miss the cut. I don't. I know he's. I know you said he's like your favorite athlete of all time. He's a ton of people's favorite athlete of all time. Obviously, just a iconic athlete, golfer, human, kind of. But I don't know. I just don't have that much of an emotional attachment to Tiger. Didn't really grow up watching golf, and I don't know. I saw he's the most bet guy to make the cut, which I believe he was last year as well. I faded him. He made it, or maybe 2 years ago. I can't quite remember, but I'm gonna fade him. I just think he's getting old. I heard his ankle like doesn't even move anymore, so I think he could have trouble walking. Could even withdraw if he has a terrible first round. So minus 115. I think it's priced. I think the value is on him to miss the cut because obviously everyone wants to bet him to make it. So I like that. And then out of the blue, one that I would only throw maybe a half unit on max or a free bet. John Rahm plus 650, looking to fade him. Obviously won it last year. It's very publicly known that you don't repeat in this tournament. It's very rare. I think Bubba Watson, Tiger, and Mickelson are the 3 that have done it somewhat recently. Um, just doesn't happen. Don't think Rahm's going to do it. Um, so I think at plus 650, I mean, it's out there. You're taking a shot, but it wouldn't shock me if Rahm goes out, struggles early, and doesn't make it.
Yeah, I hate the Tiger bet, but I'm all for fading Rom. So no complaints from me there. Yeah, I'll just get into my outrights. I'm very high on Scotty. I I know it's really hard to, again, tournament style bets. I hate taking the favorite that's that high. That's that much of a favorite. I mean, he's plus 450 on the time of filming. The next highest is plus 1100. He's more than double the next highest is in favorites odds. I always get skeptical taking that. I didn't do it in college basketball. I did not take Houston. I did not take UConn. They were plus 400 and plus 600. Those odds just weren't good enough to me in a tournament style basketball game with 68 teams. I mean, you have, I don't know, I think there's 50 to 60 golfers in this. It's so hard to win. So taking a plus 450, I'm always super skeptical of, but I think Scotty's going to do it. I think this is the best Scotty's been, honestly, in his career. I know he kind of fell off not fell off, but he struggled the last 2 years because his putter's been trash. But he's back. He's got a new, I'm not sure the mechanism or putter or something. He changed something in his putting. His caddy is Bubba Watson's caddy when he racked off 2 Masters wins in a row there. He has the experience. He won it 2 years ago. I'm all over Scotty. He's won 2 out of his last 3 starts. The third start, which was last week, he came in second. I think he missed a putt at the end, or vice versa. Guy made a putt. And then before that, he had a top 10 finish at the Genesis and tied for third at the Phoenix Open. So in his last 5 starts, and I'm not sure, I only looked at 5. He probably is racking off every top 10 in tournaments he plays. It seems like it. So I'm all over Scotty. He's by far the best golfer in the field. He knows Augusta. He can play Augusta. He's number one in all the important statistical categories we look at for Augusta. I'm all over Scotty. So I'm taking Scotty. I'm also going to get super square here. I do have Rory. It's not my second favorite, but I do have Rory. Again, he's the second favorite odds out there. The reasoning is it's more of a gut play for Rory, and the reasoning is not great, but he missed the cut last year. I like looking at stupid, not really important stats, but the last time he missed the cut in the Masters, he finished at second the following year, missed the cut last year. I mean, it's not a huge data pool, but I think he's going to have a little bit of a vengeance to come back. And also, I am a sucker for the news story, the Twitter headline. This is going to be Rory's 10th attempt at the Grand Slam. He's won every single major, and then he's played 9 consecutive Masters. Has not won it to make that to get that final major win. So it's his 10th attempt to get the Grand Slam. I just like seeing the headline 10 times the charm or something like that. So I'm a sucker for the headline story. So I did sprinkle Rory. My second favorite bet, however, on the outrights is Xander Schauffele. Xander is without a major, hasn't won the Masters. Obviously, it's a major, but hasn't won any major. How many tournaments is he top 10? It seems like he is always there, can never finish it. And again, hunting for those headlines, I just think it might be Xander's year. If it's not going to be Scotty, I think it's going to be Xander. So I loaded up, honestly, quite a bit on Scotty. I've loaded up I think I have a unit, maybe a 1.25 units right now on Xander. I might bump Xander to 2 units, which is crazy at plus 1,400. And I might, shoot Scotty up to 3 or 4 units. But I love Xander. I think Xander's going to be battling there all week. Of course, I did take Tiger because I wouldn't be a fan if I didn't sprinkle $5 on Tiger at plus 15,000. Again, he's going to withdraw either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. There's no question about it. But the dude's gave up sex. The dude supposedly is people are saying he's in his best form, which is all bullshit. But I'll sprinkle Tiger. I'll waste $5. We were just talking about before the show. My bank, I just got overcharged on my checking. So yeah, I don't need that $5. That's going on Tiger's future. And then I do have one kind of out there bet, sleeper pick. Like I said, Auberg, Thiagala, and Joaquin Neiman are 3 of the more common that I'm seeing sleeper picks out there. I really like Russell Henley, and not a whole lot of reasoning from this. He's plus 6,600 last I checked on ESPN Bet. He's played the Masters a couple times, and he is finishing like top 5 since like 2018. I think he's top 5 in putting strokes gained and top 5 in approach shots gained at Augusta. So we usually look at stats. It's throughout their the whole season, the whole every course. And his name obviously is not going to pop up there. I don't even know who this guy is, but I did look at this YouTube video and podcast, and he's kind of up there in all the important statistical stats for Augusta solely. So I think he's kind of a sleeper at plus 6,600. Again, he would, in my opinion, would be a good top 20, top 10 pick possibly as well. But I'm going to sprinkle him to win it outright at plus 6,600. But again, favorite pick by far, Scotty. And then I really, really like Xander Schauffele.
Well, I just figured out a way for you to make a good chunk of money. Bet Scotty at the plus 400, 450, 500, whatever you can get him at. DraftKings then has winner without Scotty Scheffler.
Ooh.
You can bet Rory plus 850. It's only 150 less than with Scheffler. And then winner without Scheffler, McIlroy, and Rahm, Xander plus 1,000.
You're kidding.
They finished 1, 2, 3.
Holy moly, sign me up.
Which I can't believe that. Xander to win without Scheffler is plus 1,200. He's plus 1,400 to win. Like, sign me up for that all day long.
Yeah, that seems weird.
Or then 1,000 without the top 3 guys, Rahm, McIlroy, and Scheffler, which I'm not super high on Rahm or
Right.
McIlroy personally, but yeah, I'll
Yeah.
take a stab at Xander plus 1,200 without Scotty. Hope they go 1-2 and I clean up on the day.
That would be wow. I think I might have to go sell my body in order to deposit for that bet because I like that a lot. Don't know
Yeah,
how I didn't see that. Wow. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
yeah. Gotta
Wow.
go do something tonight. Try to get some units.
Exactly. I might go work your nearest corner. Um, but yeah, I'm pumped. That starts tomorrow morning. I believe tee off is like 8 a.m. I know Tigers. Oh, also, I have Scotty, McElroy, and Xander. Those three guys are paired together round one. I mean, they're doing it for ratings, but they're all at, I think they're at 10:40. It's supposed to be raining most of the morning. Um, so they could struggle a little bit with the weather. It's just crazy that three out of the top four in outright odds are in the same grouping. So again, if it's a bad weather day, there could be some value in some of those later timed guys. I'm not exactly sure like when Kepka's teeing off and whatnot. I know Tigers with Homa and Jason Day. I think they're like the second to last tee time at like 145. But yeah, quick weather update. Looks like it's gonna be raining a little bit tomorrow morning. Friday, Saturday, Sunday looks like all sun. So it should be a great weekend of golf. Friday will probably be a little damp because of the previous rain. It's going to be a little gusty. I saw on Thursday and Friday, but Saturday and Sunday is perfect peak weather for Augusta. In case all those weather nuts out there, again, I don't really believe in the weather, but yeah, that's crazy how they're all grouped together. But I'm pumped. Like I said, they're 8 a.m. is the first group. Probably won't watch that, but definitely will be tuning in for that Scotty group at 10:40. Obviously, Tiger at 1:40. So I'm pumped. I'm pumped for Augusta. Hopefully, this was informative for you guys as well. Again, we are not golf experts by any means, but just like talking golf. And obviously, I love Tiger Woods. Love Scotty Scheffler. Best event of the year in my opinion. So hopefully this was informative. Do you have anything to add before we close out here?
Yeah, I'll just use that rain quick to my advantage for some of the guys I liked because I did look at that as well. And I meant to bring it up, so I'm glad that you did. But Connors likely does get caught in the rain. He has a 9 a.m. tee time. The rest of the guys I kind of like though are a little bit later. Like you said, Scheffler 10:42, so he might get caught in it, but best golfer in the world. I'm not worried about a little bit of rain for him. Shane Lowry is 12:24, so hoping that he can avoid that. And then the Gala 148. He is in the second to last tee time, so I think those guys can hopefully avoid the bad weather and have an advantage right off the bat. But yeah, other than that, Wyatt, thanks for hosting. This was a fun episode. I feel way too confident over a sport that I just don't know that much about. I told you today I'm walking a fine line between like 3 units and 20 unit, just complete unload. I haven't placed a single bet yet because I just don't know. I don't know. I'm overwhelmed. I get like this every single time there's a big event. So we'll see. Follow me on Twitter. I'll tweet it all out. But
Yeah, I'm excited. I'll tweet out my place tonight. Again, with that new information on the DraftKings, it might change some of my plays. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Super excited to start watching this tomorrow. Good luck, all you guys. If you are tailing, and if you're fading, I don't blame you. Make sure you do follow all of our plays on Twitter as well as Sharps. You can use our code BET269. That's bet with 2 T's 269. We post all of our official plays over there as well. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. We will have some NBA coming up for the postseason. Probably not a whole lot leading up to postseason. But NBA, we have UFC 300 coming out this weekend on Tapping Vegas, NHL as well. So thank you guys for tuning in. Please like and subscribe and share. We appreciate it. Good luck on your bets, and we will see you next time. See you guys.
You better start listening to the Bettor and Green podcast. You will not regret it. Trust me, trust me, trust me. And hey, I'm Dean Blandino.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Bettor and Green, eh? To Bettor and Green, eh? To Bettor and Green, eh? Listen in and cash out. That's what it's all about. Come on, let's make cash now. We always on spot and we cover all spots from the bottom to the top. Hey, shout out to Ethan, shout out to Wyatt, shout out to Ben. Welcome, welcome to our podcast, Bettor and Green.